Okay, so by now you should have chosen a niche, and choosing a niche is brilliant. It's the first step to do this. The next thing's going to be, okay, how do I actually contact this niche? So different niches have different ways that it's best to contact them. Best way to get in front of them, best way to kind of have a conversation with them. And these vary, and there's varying levels of automation to it. In fact, I've just remembered another one, which often gets forgotten. See if we can find a nice image to look at while I chat. Yeah, what's up with these two? Wow, that's not a stage photo at all. Yeah, okay, perfect. Anyway, sorry. Basically, with your niche, there's going to be different platforms that they engage with the most, and the kind of limiting factor is where are the gatekeepers. So, some places when you cold call, there's going to be a receptionist. Some people, when you email, there's going to be somebody who proofreads their email. It's very rare you have somebody whose mobile is actually checked by somebody else. The only catch with this is obviously finding their numbers. And LinkedIn, you can pretty much get in front of anyone. I know a handful of people that have somebody else manage their LinkedIn, but with the right messaging and everything, you'll be fine. And then lovely in-person meetings. This looks like somebody I used to work with. And then, of course, there's Facebook ads, which normally you can get in front of most people, depending on your demographic and so on. But then again, Instagram does the other demographic. So they've got it fairly well covered. So think about where your bottlenecks are. So, for example, lawyers can't really cold email, can't really cold call because you always have somebody that's kind of pre-vetting them. You can definitely text them. You can message them on LinkedIn. However, they don't really use it. There are exceptions to that rule, but it's still worth a try. You can definitely do that. This is an awesome AI video as well. In person, 100%. There's lots of networking events. There's lots of different things like that. You can go shake the place up with that. You can also drop into most of these. Whether or not you get speaking to the right person or not is a different question. But definitely worth looking at. Facebook ads, definitely one that can be done. You're gonna have to be really careful with your marketing and targeting, but yes, that's definitely a factor, and that one do it all the way through. Whereas if you're targeting SaaS companies, so let's say you're going to help build automations for SaaS companies, um, you will be able to get hold of them on email quite easily. Their emails will be readily available. Cold calling is going to be a challenge because it's going to be very difficult to find their numbers, and they're also scared of talking to people. Sorry, that was a very generalized statement there. I apologize if you're in SaaS. I know a lot of sales guys who go and target SaaS people because it's super easy to sell because nobody in SaaS is particularly salesy. Um, just yeah. Anyway, SMS once again brilliant as long as you can get their contact information. LinkedIn brilliant. Like if they spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, I imagine that will be a really good platform to get them on. In person, you're gonna struggle. Don't get me wrong. There's startup events you can go to. There's SaaS things and stuff you can go to. Um, but yeah, it's probably going to be a bit more of a challenge to find the right people in the right place because they're definitely not scared of going to speaking to people. And then ads, once again, absolutely brilliant idea. It will kind of cover all of them. The ads is really your silver bullet, and that's the point you want to get to, where you can spend like 2 grand on ads. I mean, we dropped like 7 grand on an ads campaign just to see what happened. Quite impressive results. Okay, let's just do another one. So let's do estate agents. We'll do US real estate because all of you like to target them so much. Email, brilliant. Cold calling, brilliant. SMS, brilliant. LinkedIn, less good, but also still possible. Obviously, in person, brilliant. And if you're in the States, and then ads, you can target them all with ads, and loads of people have and done this. You do get a bit of ad fatigue because they're used to seeing a lot of these ads, but they're probably seeing hardly any for building really cool AI automations. So I hope this gives you a bit of an idea to kind of like dig into. The other factor to think about is what of this can you automate instantly? So cold email, you can automate. Cold calling, you can build a cold calling team around it. Yes, you can build an AI tool to do it. Whether or not it takes there or not is fully up for debate. SMS, Obviously, they need to have opted in for this information and given you their consent for you to text them. But let's say they've done that, it's really, really good. And there's a couple of ways to find them to ask them to opt in. LinkedIn, once again, you can automate it. Yes, there's limits. You probably wouldn't want a situation where you can only target LinkedIn and like that's the only place that they exist. I probably wouldn't want to target LinkedIn on its own just because you can't really scale it up. You'd have to do a lot of posting and organic stuff out, which is fine. Like you can take your posting and do like an awesome video like this, which has got 900 comments off a guy that I know quite well. There's loads you can do, but it's kind of harder to scale in person. Pretty much impossible to scale, bar the exception of hiring a sales team. The only thing with hiring a sales team is they're going to want a base salary. If you're hiring a salesperson and they're not asking for 60 grand plus a year, they are not a good salesperson. If you can do lower base and higher comms if you wanted, but just something to factor in um, when you're growing a team. And then ads, once again, you can pretty much cover anyone. Obviously, if you're only targeting OAPs who are scared of snow, then you might struggle. But you can be really clever with this and watch the videos and it will kind of run you through that. The only thing is you've got to spend money to make money with ads. And there's a couple of things to get right. The landing page, the funnel, the sequence that people go through, literally all of that. Um, yeah. So I hope that helps and clears it up. So really, I would like to pick two streams of this because quite often there will be something that you get slightly marginally wrong. No offense, it's just a case of like going through and doing this, and having two streams is brilliant. Cold email is pretty much always on there. It's got its ups and downs. There's different things that come up, and you've got to sort things and fires to put out. However, actually getting once you get cold email right, you can scale it to the point where you're sending hundreds of thousands of cold emails every single day. It's booking meetings. You're not having to do anything. It's fine. The leads are super easy to find. They're super cheap to find. Cold calling, bit time consuming. I would always recommend doing the cold calling yourself. Get a rough script. I mean, get to the point where you can phone 30 people and book one in. That's the sweet spot. That's fine. And then Voodoo. Oh, let me click on it for you. Voodoo, SMS. Once again, watch the course on this. Obviously, everyone needs to have opted in. I may have shown you a couple of ways to find their phone numbers if not. But really, really good way to get in front of them. It's probably worth doing SMS anyway for their niche, for an industry, regardless. So, like, I would put this as like number one, as long as you can get some numbers. And even if you only get 1,000, it's probably still worth doing because you will get an interesting conversation off the back of that for sure. We get about 15 to 30 every 2,000. So you can like that's positive replies, engaging, ready to go. And yesterday we booked 9 calls with this, and we sent 5,000 SMSs. So you know, it's a really high leverage one. Yeah, worth doing. LinkedIn. So well worth doing. I would get this automated and going anyway, just because you can pretty much always get in contact and in front of the right people. Like pretty much always. So this is a nice one to just get going. It's 20 quid a month for an automation software that you've got to set up once and then it runs. Like seriously, just do it. Even if you use Octopus, like just go on it 3 times a week and press run. If you get one interesting conversation a month off the back of this, it's worth doing. Like it will take you probably and half an hour a month and cost you 20 quid. And just do it. In person, I always recommend that face is really bothering me. I definitely feel like I know. Anyway, so in person's really good. Like go to, especially if you're happy to kind of do anything, go to the NEC and walk around and give out business cards and say, I've done a video on this, but basically you walk up and be like, oh, what is it that you guys do? Every stand, ask them what they do. Oh, we do this, we help that. They will instinctively ask you, oh, what is it that you do? Oh, well, actually, we do X, Y, and Z. We build automations, we do this, Who, and then you say, who within the company would I need to speak to about us implementing some AI into your company. And they'll turn around and go, oh, Matt, or oh, actually, it's me. And then, like, you can be like, look, this is what we can do. This is what it looks like. Da, 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 da. Can I get a call booked in? If you can, book it in there and then. Like, take their business card, say, okay, brilliant, I'll send you an invite for Tuesday at 2 p.m. Let me know if that works, and book it in. And these people, like the commitment level to that. The other thing I would do is take all of the people at that event, take their company name, run it through Snowvio or Clay or one of the other tools, and then send them all a cold email. Trust me, it'll be well worthwhile doing. And then ads. If you've got some budget to spend, it is probably one of the best ways to get some clients. Super easy, very early, like very easy to get in and easy to sort. If not, then go down the route of getting a client, winning their business, making some money, and then throw some money on ads. Because trust me, you want to get to the point where you can throw money on ads because like you are literally just paying for booked meetings at that point. Yes, there's a couple of things to get right, but if you go through school, you'll be fine. Um, yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you've got any questions, obviously just ask. But they're kind of really the 6 main things that we teach. All of those, you can pretty much always find a niche that's got 2 of these. I would want the high leverage stuff, so instantly you can pretty much get everyone, but like people that are going to check their emails and are not being screened by somebody else, dentists, doctors, lawyers, people that charge silly amount of money for their time, pretty much always have somebody scanning their emails. Not necessarily always, and if it's a 4-man company you're going after, then that's fine. They will check their emails. Like accountants, brilliant one. They live on their emails. Cold calling, there are going to be gatekeepers here, so if you can get directly to them, you can also use the same tricks that we find mobile numbers to do the same thing with that. Well worth doing. Avoid the gatekeepers. It's probably worthwhile doing. And then LinkedIn, just get going. Like unless your niche doesn't exist on LinkedIn, then just get it going. And then in person, find an event. Just go to one. Even just go to one of those crappy free networking events where everyone sells because it will boost your confidence so much to see how interested everyone is in this and like what it is that you're offering. And then ads. If you've got some money, throw some money at ads. But if not, then like put it on the back burner as something to sort and do. It's also a really useful skill to learn because people will pay handsomely for you to learn how to do this. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. As always, any questions, just let me know. Cheers.